part off.
Chop the first part off?
My penis.
Oh! Hello, the internet! Welcome to Unprofessional Movie Reviews. This isn't a movie review, as you could tell by the fucking title, man. It didn't say a movie review, idiots. It says our top 10 most anticipated movies
Of 2015.
of 2015. We can't anticipate anything that happened. That's just science.
And we can't go to 2016 because that's too far.
Well, I have some anticipated movies from 2016.
Oh, they're all canceled.
That would suck so much. Okay, anyways, the way this works, we've never done this before. I'm going to hold up a number like this, 10. And then we're going to say our number 10. Then I'm going to hold up all the other numbers, and we're going to go all the way down. And we're going to do it in order. It would be weird if we didn't. And then when we make it to 1 and 2, my 1 and 2 is kind of weird. I want to talk about them both at the same time. So he's going to take 2, and then he's going to do his number 1. And then I'm going to do my 1, or 2, and then I'm going to do my 1 because they kind of are the same for me.
I usually do a number 1 before number 2.
Yep. That's a pee and poop joke.
Ha!
Also, if you're watching this, please subscribe. We don't got a lot of subscribers. We would love some more. Be our 5th subscriber. Be that guy. You're a good guy, that guy. And also comment. No one's ever commented. Be our first commenter. Tell us what you're looking forward to.
Call me
Anything.
a faggot.
Call him a... He's not, but he's...
People call me faggot.
Yeah. Don't insult me. I've got a fragile life. But before we get into anything... so put on your list. I would love to see somebody else's list. Put down your list. And on your lists, not on our lists, are our honorable mentions. I'll read off a few of my honorable mentions right now. I'm going to have to bring up the new James Bond movie. I'm not a huge James Bond fan, but the new James Bond movie, Spectre, might be pretty good. Christoph Waltz is the bad guy, and then Dave Bautista as his henchman. Very classic Bondy, and I like that. I like that they're going classic Bondy.
I'm a moderate Bond fan. Like, I've got my favorites. I've seen probably about 3/4 to like 5/8, or wait, that's reverse fraction. But whatever. Anyway, I've seen a sizable amount of James Bond movies. I haven't seen all of them. I'm considered a moderate fan of James Bond in that I really liked Pierce Brosnan as James Bond.
The good one.
I liked...
That was so bad.
I liked Roger Moore. Didn't care much for Sean Connery, which is weird because most people do.
Yeah.
And I don't exactly hate Daniel Craig as Bond, but he's not my favorite.
I'm a cheesy Bond guy. My favorite's Moonraker, the worst of them. Love that movie.
I like Goldfinger a lot.
Yeah, there you go.
And Goldeneye. I like the Goldens. But the plot line for Spectre didn't make my honorable mentions because it sounds like a very generic James Bond plot line. James Bond discovers a secret society that has roots deeper than he ever thought
brought
possible.
up Spectre in older James Bond movies,
which
is why I think that's one thing.
It might make it interesting, but that's kind of like you could literally say that plot summary and just say Skyfall.
Yeah. This is going to be a real long video if we spend this long on each of our... Our honorable mentions. I'm going to rock through my honorable mentions. I'm going to go through the rest of mine really quick. Ron Howard's new movie almost was in my list. Got booted off from a different movie. In the Heart of the Sea. This trailer wowed me. And yeah, I'm really excited for that movie. And then the Peanuts movie could be a stinker like Smurfs. Could be a Lego movie. The Peanuts movie, I'm looking for you. I'm going to go watch you. I'm going to go see you in the theaters. Watch out, Peanuts movie. Crimson Peak, Guillermo del Toro, always a homeboy, always one of my favorites. Doing a horror movie, Pan's Labyrinth, Orphanage, these are his darker movies and I loved them. Not saying I don't love Pacific Rim, but, so I'm really looking forward to Crimson Peak. Check it out. And my last one, it's a shame it's not on my list, but I thought the trailer looked retarded. Mad Max Fury Road. It's the original guy that did the Mad Max movies. Tom Hardy as Mad Max. But the trailer looked retarded.
Oh, stupid.
So, you know what? It was almost on my list. Honorable mentions?
Honorable mentions. My first one, I'm going to I'm going to depart from my handwritten list right away because I realized that something wasn't on my list, and it's okay that it's not on my list because it's probably going to be dog shit. But I'm actually a really big fan of Resident Evil. and even the really, really bad movies. Sorry, Mila Jovovich, I love your work, and I think that you're great in those movies.
Those movies are dog shit.
Anybody who plays Resident Evil will also tell you that the movies are dog shit.
Those movies are dog shit.
They're bad. But that being said, I still like them. I don't know why. I just like them for what they are.
I don't know why either.
I think if you approach them from an angle of
I love Mila Jovovich.
you might like them more.
I've always wanted her to play Jean Grey.
Yeah.
Yeah, make that happen, Hollywood.
Yeah.
Mila Jovovich, much better Jean Grey than
Jovovich.
Whatever. She's Russian.
And I think we're in agreement that that Fifth Element was a great movie.
One of the best.
Yes.
Fifth Element, one of the best movies ever.
Great. Anyway, moving down my list, What We Do in the Shadows has. Oh crap! I wrote down his name and I already forgot it. It's Tremaine or something. Jermaine from
Clemens.
Yeah, there we
go. From Flight of the Conchords.
Flight of the Conchords. He's in it, and the trailer got me to chuckle a little bit. It didn't seem really all that funny, but I'm betting it's one of those comedies where they don't waste all of their really funny moments in the trailer, which is a smart move.
That's good.
The special effects in it looked cheesy, but in a really funny way. So we'll see about that movie. That's why it's on my honorable mentions and on my list. Kingsman, you said was based on a comic. I was not aware of that.
Secret Service. Yeah, I own it.
The trailer looked really good, actually. I was really surprised because when I read the plot summary, it sounded kind of dumb, and I don't really like Colin Firth, so that was surprising.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not a big Colin Firth fan. Last one, Jungle Book, the Jon Favreau version. The casting for it sounds amazing. They've got the Monkey King is played by Christopher Walken, which will be really funny. Oh,
we all saw him as Hook.
I want to be like you. Wow.
Whoa.
And Bill Murray as Baloo is going to be great. And
I'm sorry, I'm only thinking of that now.
I want to be like you.
Wow.
So yeah, and Scarlett Johansson's in it. Somebody else was in it as well, playing Bagheera, but I can't remember who it was. Anyway, Jungle Book. Jon Favreau's Jungle Book, not the Andy Serkis one from 2017.
Yeah, soon-ish.
Yeah.
While. Are we done with honorable mentions?
Honorable mentions.
Okay! We spent fucking way more minutes on honorable mentions than we should have. Number 10! Take it away.
Number 10 for me, SLC Punk 2, Punk's Dead.
Is that actually going to come out? Because that's been promised to come out for about 10 years.
There's a trailer.
There's a trailer?
There's a trailer.
Fuck, it would have been on my list. I didn't even know that. Holy shit. Fuck me in the face.
Are you a Donnie Darko fan?
Yeah.
Did you see S. Darko?
No.
Well, I think you could expect...
I'm a Donnie Darko fan.
If you had
I didn't see S. Darko.
You might not like the trailer for SLC Punk 2.
Okay.
There are elements of it that are really reminiscent of SLC Punk. Heron Bob's the narrator for the whole thing, even though he's dead. And that's kind of cool.
Spoilers for SLC Punk.
Yeah.
It's 10 years later. If you haven't seen it,
fuck you.
Fuck off.
You should have seen it already.
Awesome.
That movie's great.
I love that movie.
But I'm going to see it. I'm definitely going to see it.
I didn't even know it was finally coming out.
Yeah.
It's been said it was coming out. I friended their Facebook page in like 2008.
I did shortly after you did. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, they have a trailer out. It came out, I think, today or yesterday. They do not have a final date released yet.
I'm freaking out about that. My 10. My 10 is a Hungarian movie. White God. This movie's the most ridiculous, amazing bullshit I've ever seen. I'm so excited for this movie.
I had to scratch it off of my mentions.
It was so cool. Yeah, he was going to put it on his honorable mentions. I put it on my list. I took off Heart of the Sea for this.
Yeah.
Heart of the Sea was going to be my 10 because it looked really good. But this movie looks so great. Quick synopsis. Chick is Hungarian, so I'm assuming it's in Hungary. Is where it takes place. Little chick, 12, whatever, has a dog. She gets separated from the dog because the dog's a mutt. And the dog gets caught up into a pound. And then he convinces the dogs to do an uprising. And the dogs...
And the whole thing is a metaphor for racism.
Yeah, whole thing's a metaphor for racism. But the dogs are a, army, and they attack the humans, and there's just, a shot of just a dog with somebody's purse just,
They just, take over the town.
And then the last scene, you see this army of dogs, and the one dog that loved the girl go forward, and she's like, I love you too. It's the most ridiculous. It looks so amazing. That's my number 10.
The poster for it, I hope that's indicative of the feature, that somehow there's a deeper plot involving the little girl.
Yeah.
But the poster is a little girl and her dog in this park. with like dim lighting and like a million dogs just like laying down in the park. So maybe she becomes like Queen of the Dogs.
Queen of the Dogs!
It's so fucking cool.
Anyways, Hungarian movie. I can't wait to see it. It killed at Sundance this year. It did great at Sundance this
and
year.
did great at the Cannes too in France.
Yeah, so boom. Number 9!
Number 9, Chappie.
It's on your list.
Yep, minus the advert though, because I am...
It's the only reason I put it in.
I'm really, really sick of the advert. I could not care if I ever hear their music again, or if I ever see any of their faces again. I'm sorry, I'm sure they're individually...
We lost all their fans.
I'm sure individually they're lovely people. I'm really sure they are, but their music just rubs me the wrong way.
Their art's better than their music. Their art's really good.
I haven't seen any of their art, but
so you got Chappie.
Chappie.
Now, I can... Elysium wasn't as good as District 9, and he made District 9, and it was amazing.
I like District 9.
And then he made Elysium, and it was
But Elysium doesn't take place in South Africa.
No, but it's still his written and directed movie.
Right, but I think his South Africa flick, he's South African, isn't he?
Yeah.
So I think that's... Sure. And he's got a South African cast, largely, so he did that for District 9.
Yeah.
He did that for District 9, and it was great.
Yeah.
And then he stepped out of his comfort zone to do Elysium.
I know, but I'm saying because of Elysium... I don't give him the benefit of the doubt.
Okay.
Because making one good movie does not make you an amazing movie person. M. Night Shyamalan. He made 2 good movies, and now he's a garbage movie maker.
What's the second good movie?
I actually really liked Unbreakable.
Really?
Yeah, I like that movie.
Yeah. I liked Signs.
Yeah, Signs is decent. It's not a good movie. Right. My number 9 is Vacation. The remake of Vacation. Yes, National Lampoon's Vacation's getting a remake. It's not actually a remake or a reboot. It's technically a sequel because the main character is Rusty with Ed Helms and Helms.
Ed Helms from The Office and from The Hangover.
Yep.
We'll be playing Rusty, Clark Griswold's son.
Yep.
With his own
So
family.
Clark Griswold and his wife.
Christina Applegate.
Nope. No, Beverly D'Angelo and... Chevy Chase are coming back.
Yeah.
Clark Griswold's wife. I can't remember her name. Doesn't matter. Carolyn? Oh, whatever. And then so Christina Applegate's playing Rusty's wife. And this movie wouldn't be complete without an Audrey. And Audrey is Leslie fucking Mann. One of the best comedic actors of a long time. She's been around for a long time. People are finally starting to notice her because she's married to Apatow. But she's been around for a long fucking time.
Yep.
And she's awesome. Cable Guy, watch it, love it. Love Cable Guy.
George of the Jungle.
Is there George of the Jungle? No, then also Charlie Day's going to be a smaller role, I'm pretty sure. And the one that made me really love it, Chris fucking Hemsworth. I'm going to try to say this really quick. This is what I want out of Chris Hemsworth. If I could write this movie. Remember the first Vacation? I want a little homage to the first Vacation when Chevy Chase is driving down the road and the hot chick drives by. I want Christina Applegate to be driving down the road, and I want Hemsworth to drive by with the music, and then they make eyes at each other, and then they get all flirty. I want that! I want a nice homage with Chris Hemsworth, because he's easily the most attractive guy, one of the most attractive guys around, next to other attractive guys. I'm sorry, but he's hot. Anyways, number 8.
You do your number 8 first.
Okay. So yeah, Vacation, my number 9. And, yeah.
Was going to be on my honorable mentions list.
8. My 8, because we're going that way, is The Walk.
You know, I don't think I heard about that one.
The Walk. Joseph Gordon-Levitt, a little actor named Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Oh, yeah, that one, the tightrope one.
Tightrope. If you've seen Man on the Ledge, this is a biopic of the guy from Man on the Ledge who puts this teeny little wire... Not Man on the Ledge, sorry, Man on the Wire. Yeah, Man on the Wire. It's a documentary, but he put this teeny little wire in between the Twin Towers.
In like the 70s?
This is the 80s? I don't know. I don't know the timeline. But he walked across a fucking wire in between the Twin Towers. If you stop and think about that, of how you can't see a wire, how you look down and you're floating in the fucking air in between Twin Towers. And the selling point, why it's on my list, the director, Zemeckis, is directing it. If you don't know who Zemeckis is, yes. If you don't know who Zemeckis is, ask your parents, because he did these little movies called Back to the Future, and he did these little movies, or this little movie called Forrest fucking Gump. He's an Oscar winner. His movies have won Oscars. Forrest Gump beat out Shawshank Redemption, which is kind of a crime, by the way, for Best Picture.
One of his Oscars won an Oscar.
Yeah. One of his Oscars won an Oscar. That's how many Oscars. So Zemeckis doing it. Zemeckis can rock out just ageless movies, as you now know, from movies like Back to the Future. So with an amazing actor, still kind of upcoming actor like Jurassic World, love it, I have to throw it on there.
Yeah.
Your 8.
My number 8 is Terminator Genesis. It's probably going to be a steaming pile of dog shit, as we saw from Terminator 3 especially, and then as some people would say, Terminator Salvation.
Movie was a pile of dog shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, I said it.
Well, I liked Terminator Salvation to a point. I did see certain points of it that people would hate. As a diehard lover of the storyline, though, I would definitely rank Salvation higher than Terminator 3. Terminator 3 broke my heart. I've been a fan of Terminator since I was 4 years old.
Yeah, and I love Terminator.
I saw Terminator when I was 4. I saw Terminator 2 when I was 8.
I know so many people consider Terminator 2 one of the best sequels of all time, and I'll put it at that, but I will punch you in the face if you say it's better than the first Terminator. I'm sorry, the first Terminator, for me, is one of my favorite fucking movies.
No.
That movie is gritty.
The exposition
it's
is
amazing.
fantastic.
It is such a good fucking movie.
Linda
and the second one
Hamilton's
was good. Linda Hamilton's brilliant.
I fucking love her.
Which is why I'm excited to see Emilia Clarke as Linda Hamilton.
I'm excited to, I noticed in the trailer she was definitely doing a Linda Hamilton impression, which I will give her mad props for.
Yeah.
Because that takes some balls to do impressions of a working actor.
And she looks a lot like Linda Hamilton. Yeah. And she kind of, so that's my roommate coming in, unprofessional movie reviews.
But that being said, though, I wanted to see Linda Hamilton make a cameo at least. If that doesn't happen, I will be very upset. She's not in the cast list, so I'm not expecting it. Linda Hamilton could have and should have been in this movie.
Well, they're splicing timelines. We don't know what they're going to do with the movie yet. But anyways,
still be in it. But
they got a Korean T-1000 now. I'm going to say the reason why I didn't put it on my list is the trailer looked good. A little pile of... It was a little weird. So that's why I wasn't on. It was going to be my honorable mention before he put it on his list.
Also, they need to stop changing actors playing John Connor, because that gets on my nerves.
Yeah, but this is probably going to be the better ones.
I don't know. I liked Christian Bale.
I don't like that movie. Anyways, we're on 7. 7. You taking this one?
Sure. 7. Grave of the Fireflies. As you can see...
I didn't even hear about that shit.
I'm a big Miyazaki fan.
It's a Miyazaki movie?
No. It already is a Miyazaki movie.
Oh!
Yeah, there's a Miyazaki movie that came out in the, I think it's the 70s, like the late 70s.
Miyazaki time.
Yeah, with the one of his original flicks before Studio Ghibli was a thing, I think. And so it's a story, it's just post-World War II. Like, World War II just ends. It's a pair of children, their mom dies in a horrible fire.
I can't believe I didn't even hear about this. It would be on my list again.
Caused by a Doolittle raid. The cartoon is from the 70s.
Okay.
And then they're making a live-action version this year.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a live-action version that aired on TV in the 90s.
What's the name of this?
Grave of the Fireflies.
Grave of the Fireflies. Holy shit.
Yeah, it's a story of two young children
compelled.
Surviving post-World War II Japan.
Wow. That sounds really sweet.
Yeah, the cartoon is heartbreaking. You get a chance, definitely.
Miyazaki.
Yeah. It's fucking great.
We're still only at 7, and this is our longest video yet. My 7 is Inside Out. New Pixar movie. I can't believe this isn't on your list. First of all, the reason why I'm excited about this is because Pixar is excited about this. Yeah. Anyone who's ever talked about this from Pixar says that this is going to be one of their better movies. These fucking people made Up. These fucking people made Toy Story. One of my favorite. Well, no, Disney.
Oh, that
one's Disney.
That wasn't Pixar.
And because that year Disney made the Pixar movie and Pixar made the Disney movie. Right. Pixar made Brave, and I don't like Brave. A lot of people do. My girlfriend loves Brave. I'm getting bad looks. And then there's Wreck-It Ralph, and I consider Wreck-It Ralph an amazing movie. But anyways, Inside Out. Yeah, okay. A lot of people think Brave was really good. People smarter than me like Brave. I'm just saying I didn't. That doesn't mean that it was bad. It means I'm dumb.
So, talking about Inside Out.
Inside Out. You got a bunch of emotions living inside somebody's head controlling them. Yeah. And who do you cast as Anger? Louis motherfucking Black! Best casting decision of all time!
And to cap off of that, a casting decision for that movie that's going to go overlooked, I guarantee it. Phyllis Smith playing Sadness.
Yeah.
Do you know who she is?
No.
Phyllis Smith played Phyllis Vance in The Office.
Oh!
I love her.
She's totally sadness.
Yeah,
that's perfect.
She's fantastic. And
anyways,
Mindy Kaling is Disgust, which is
yeah.
Nobody cares about Mindy
But
Kaling,
the reason why Pixar is so pumped to put this movie out is why I'm just dying to see it. I think it's gonna go in the history books as one of the better ones. Did you do your 7 already?
Yeah. Mine was Grave of the Fireflies.
Oh yeah, Grave of the Fireflies. Then that brings us to a little number called 6. I can go this time. Right. 6! You don't like to see a Leopardon eat a motherfucking white shark? Jurassic World! Motherfucker! Jesus Christ! You got fucking... motherfucker driving on a motorcycle with velociraptors riding behind him. Oh my god!
Dinosaurs.
I know! It's everywhere, and it's the best. This is the sequel that should have came out. This is what the sequel to this world should have been. And if you're not following, which no one besides me is this big of a freak, but if you're not following the viral marketing for this movie, the company that bought Engine, that is now opened up Jurassic World, put a website out as if it's their website, and you can even apply for an internship on it, which I did.
You can do through IMDb too.
Yep, and I went all the way through this website. It's the coolest fucking viral campaign I've ever seen. It was so awesome. And, they're talking about, like, we went up to the Arctic and we're trying to bring it back, a woolly mammoth. And they're talking about all these animals they're going to bring back. And, oh, my God. Jurassic World, I'm sorry, I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. It might be a terrible movie, but I'm drinking the fucking Kool-Aid because Chris Pratt is fucking God to me. This is Pratt Town. Pratt lives here now and he owns this place. Bring it on.
All right, so we're on number 6. My number 6 is Quentin Tarantino's The Hateful Eight.
I can't say anything about this.
Yeah, I know. The Hateful Eight, post-Civil War, it's 8 people who are stranded without supplies. They have to depend on each other. It breeds jealousy and competition and possibly homicide, so we'll see. But it's Quentin Tarantino, and it's in a time period that he does really well. I love Django Unchained.
Oh, yeah.
So
I love his Old West.
Yeah, so that's all I have to say about it. It's going to be good.
My turn. Number 5. My number 5 is Hateful Eight. Now, if you don't know what happened with Hateful Eight, do you know this? About a year ago, maybe a little more, his script got leaked. Yeah. And he dropped it completely.
Yep.
And he's like, I'm not making this fucking movie anymore. Fuck you guys. Because he gave it to like 3 fucking people and it hit the internet. I'm sorry, but if I gave it to 3 friends and it got leaked, I freaked the fuck out about it too. He was completely right. And then he did this thing where he gets all of his big favorite actors. He goes and gets Samuel Jackson, a bunch of other big actors.
Michael Madsen,
all these people who he loved. And he sits them down at this theater in LA. You guys can look it all up. And then he does a reading to see what people think. Stage reading, and he charges $200 fucking dollars or something like that per ticket, and they sell out. Apparently, everyone who walked out of that stage reading loved the fuck out of it. And that's why, also it's Quentin Tarantino, and one of my favorite movies of all time, tied with my favorite movie of all time, is fucking Pulp Fiction. And on the other side of the computer that you guys are now living inside is a Mr. Blonde poster. And then right next to it's a Kill Bill poster. I love fucking Quentin Tarantino. That's all I gotta say. Hateful Eight's gonna blow my face off. I don't even know who's in it yet. There's not a trailer. Have they even started shooting? I don't fucking know. It's gonna blow my face apart!
The poster looks good, though.
Yeah.
And there's also a teaser, but it has no footage.
Yeah.
It's just vector graphics saying, what the Hateful Eight are, who's each one, but not with the actors associated with them, so you don't know who's playing what. It's interesting. My next one, Jurassic World.
I knew it! I knew we were going to do that! Alright, go ahead.
I do have my issues with Jurassic World. I so far don't like Chris Pratt's character. He
doesn't seem funny.
No,
he's so serious.
No, that's not it. No,
it's whatever they kicked up in that lab.
No, he seems too archetypal.
What's an archetype?
I don't know exactly what his character is, but what I'm garnering so far is that he's some kind of a hunter, but he's just a general badass who's going to end up fighting dinosaurs, which is what we want.
But he's fighting dinosaurs with a gang of raptors, a motorcycle gang of raptors.
I wish that
that is a metal video.
I wish that they would find a better way to introduce this character. I hope it's
instead of doors open up and he's wearing a leather vest.
Right?
Yeah, no.
I hope that they do it better in the movie than they did in the trailer.
If you haven't seen this trailer yet, slap yourself in the face, stick your finger in your nose until you hit your brain, and then watch it.
Yeah,
because that trailer is great. You get to see Lear eat a great white shark.
Also, Judy Greer.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Judy Greer.
Carol/Cheryl.
Yep. Carol.
I love her so much. Yep. Judy Greer is one of the. She's so underrated. She's so good.
I'm so glad that she's finally getting.
I don't think she's getting a big part in. That's why I didn't bring her.
Yeah. Well, that's okay.
Anyways, I gotta flip this because we're getting to the best of the best. We already did 5. 4. You go ahead.
Pixels.
I didn't put it in.
I didn't expect you to. I don't think a lot of people are going to really enjoy Pixels. I don't think a lot of people are going to be excited about Pixels.
I'm excited for Pixels, but
all the buzz I've read
online, I don't give Adam Sandler the benefit of the doubt.
Right. The buzz I've read about it online is that people say it's a big nostalgia grab, which, is probably fair.
I'm okay with it.
We'll see.
It's a nostalgia grab for shit that I love. Video games.
Exactly.
Classic video games.
Exactly. And you said you won't give Adam Sandler the benefit of the doubt. He does seem kind of broken and depressed lately, and his movies have been suffering because of it. And I think that's pretty obvious to most viewers.
He called up Drew Barrymore like, "You wanna make a movie again with me?" And she's like, "Oh my God, sure."
But Peter Dinklage is in it.
I know. That's all I was gonna wait until you were done talking, and I was gonna bring up Peter Dinklage. Peter Dinklage. You look up a picture, type in Pixels Peter Dinklage, and you'll see a picture of him with a giant mullet and a gun running from an explosion. And I got the biggest nerd boner ever seeing that shit.
Have you seen the original short film that it's based on?
No.
You need to watch it.
Okay.
You need to
Holy
watch
shit.
it.
This is the longest video. This is a long video.
That's okay.
I'm cool with it. No, it deserves to be long. It's a long list.
You're number
we did all 10.
4.
My number 4. Marvel's Ant-Man. Of course Ant-Man's on here, and of course it's my number 4. It's a really good reason it's not number 3. When you called me earlier, said you could guess my 3, was that my 3?
It was one of your 3.
It was one of my 3?
And I think you know what the other 2 were.
I know what the other 2 were. It's probably in your 3. The other 2. Because you haven't said them yet. And if they're not at all on your list, we're no longer friends. Anyways, Ant-Man. Trailer just dropped. And I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to drink the Kool-Aid, and I'm not going to bullshit you. The trailer was...
it's
alright, I guess. No, it gave us. It's going to be a comedy. There's a comedic director behind it, and it's Paul goddamn Rudd as Ant-Man.
And he's also one of the writers.
And you got a writing credit. It doesn't mean you're one of the writers. But anyways, it was originally Edgar Wright. Edgar Wright dropped it, or they dropped each other. Edgar Wright and Marvel had a very mutual breakup, and then it got to a different director. Now, I'm actually kind of glad Edgar Wright dropped it. And I know I'm one of the biggest Edgar Wright fans. I love Shaun of the Dead. I love At World's End. I'm sorry. And it took me 3 times watching. It was good. It took me 3 times watching Hot Fuzz until I got it. Hot Fuzz is one of the funniest movies of all time. And I didn't get it for so long. I didn't know these little jokes. I get around the office. Hook. These studies. Hook, slut. These little jokes that are so good. Yeah, I like to smash open your head to see what you're thinking.
Yeah.
Like, woo! It's a funny movie. But anyways, he was going with a direction that was so far from the comics that I would be one of those complainy fucking nerds. They're still going away from the comics, but I understand. The comics are not movies, and I get that. They're still going away from the comics, but I'm very optimistic about this movie. So much that I'm putting it above Quentin Tarantino. Fuck my eyeballs. I can't believe I'm doing that.
You can't mention Hot Fuzz without hearing me say, he's not Judge Judy, an executioner. Because that line was gold. What are we at, number 3 or 4?
Did you do your 4?
I did.
Pixels! I'm not even paying attention. Who are you? Taylor? You're Taylor. This is still Taylor.
We're on 3 now.
I never said we're Mark and Billy at the beginning. Number 3.
I think they get it by now.
No one watches
our
these.
4 subscribers.
Yeah, the 4 people. Number 3! You doing yours?
Yeah, sure.
Go!
My number 3 is Ant-Man. Which we covered.
Did I do a backwards 3?
No.
Good. I'm not drunk. Ant-Man. You did cover it? You don't got anything to add? Because I have to get into my favorite director ever.
Well, it's Michael Douglas, right?
Yes, as Hank Pym, the original Ant-Man from the comics.
And Michael Douglas, was he or was he not Uncle Ben too?
Mm-mm.
No, who's Uncle Ben?
Martin Sheen.
Martin Sheen. They look so much alike to me.
Yeah, but there's a big difference. Michael Douglas bones Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Right.
And Martin Sheen gave birth to Charlie Sheen.
Right.
In his butt.
Yeah, okay, so Michael Douglas is
your number 3.
Hank
Holy
Pym,
shit.
cool.
We would have almost had the same 3 if it wasn't for this next movie I'm about to say.
Okay, but that's pretty much all I have to say is, Michael Douglas.
Yeah, Michael fucking Douglas is Hank Pym, and that trailer, that was probably the best part of the trailer, was his voice. Love his voice. Number 3, Revenant.
That made your list?
There's a little director called, I have to look down when I say his name, because I've talked about one of his other movies on an interview I did, or did a review with Taylor, and I couldn't even remember it. Alejandro Gonzalez Inarritu, who did my favorite movie of the year, fuck it, my favorite movie of the decade, fuck it, one of my favorite movies ever, Birdman. I love Birdman so much. It's such a good fucking movie. And he goes and makes Revenant. I'm not even going to lie. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid so much on this movie, it was on my list before I read the synopsis. I'm not even kidding. I'm like, he's making a movie? Fuck it. 7. And then I read the synopsis, and I bumped it to 3. Synopsis. You got Tom Hardy, the one guy from We Are the Millers, the teenager kid. Yeah. And then the main motherfucker, Leonardo DiCaprio. And Leonardo DiCaprio, being one of the better actors of today, who I'm not going to say gets robbed of an Oscar. He hasn't had an Oscar yet because he always puts out good movies. But the problem with Oscars is you don't put out a good movie to get an Oscar. You put out a better movie than everybody else. And you put out a better performance than everybody else.
Well, you also put out a better performance than you have before.
Yeah, and he's starting to die down.
I don't know. I think he always puts out gold. He just doesn't ever put out anything better. It's just always great.
He's always at 100%.
Yeah.
But also, you can't argue with the people who beat him. I mean, he loses to the best. He loses to Lincoln. He loses to one of the best actors, period. And that's it.
I don't necessarily agree.
But what I'm getting at is the synopsis. Leonardo DiCaprio is a trapper in the Old West, and he gets mauled by a fucking bear. And his best friends, Tom Hardy and like 2 other people, rob him and leave him for dead. And then he has to hunt them down for revenge, and he got mauled by a goddamn bear, and it's directed by Inarritu, blah, 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 blah. That crazy name. I'm so pumped for this fucking movie, it beat out Ant-Man. And I bought Ant-Man #1 today. And if you're a comic book reader, buy Ant-Man #1. It came out this week. Or next week. It's a fucking good read. Anyways, I'm so excited for The Revenant because I give this guy the benefit of the doubt. I give this guy the benefit of my left nut. Birdman is such a good fucking movie that this guy could shit on a camera and I'd be, brilliant! He shot on a camera! Ugh! That's how much I love this guy. Anyways.
Batch number 1 and 2.
Batch number 1 and 2. Let's go with his 2 and 1 first. 2 is
Star Wars Episode 7.
Really?
Yeah, that's my number 2. And my number 1 is Avengers 2: Age of Ultron.
Fuck it! We got the same ones. I thought he was gonna go Star Wars for number 1. No. I'm gonna say it. My number 1 is Avengers 2: Age of motherfucking Ultron. My number 2 is Star Wars. This is such a happy bro moment for me. All right, let's take this together. But I really want to interrupt you. Can I?
Go ahead.
Okay. Star Wars is my favorite movie franchise of all time. I got Han Solo right here. Our editor gave it to me for Christmas. Star Wars is a pinnacle fucking movie, and it's one of the most important fucking movies of movie history. Fuck Casablanca. Fuck Citizen Kane. Star Wars. New Hope isn't my favorite. Empire is my favorite. Jedi is a notch behind because it is an Empire. It's its own negative. And, I love Star Wars, but they made the prequels. And I understand that the people who are behind Star Wars are not the people behind the prequels. I get that. The people behind Star Wars are J.J. Abrams, and a really brilliant team.
And I really like what he did with Star Trek.
Yes, but what he did with Star Trek wasn't number 1 material. What he did with what he did with Star Trek wasn't better than Avengers. And that's it. You can't judge this next Star Wars movie off of the movies that came out 30 years ago. You judge this off the people behind them. Mm-hmm. And there's a brilliant, masterful, I couldn't pick a better team. It's one of the best teams you could pick behind the Star Wars movies. Who made Star Trek. And Star Trek's decent. And it's a good movie and stuff. It's not what's behind Avengers. What's behind Avengers 2 is the most successful fucking studio ever! Like, I know they've only made a few movies, but they made a lot of good movies. Their bad movies are good movies. Their bad movies are Thor 2 and Iron Man 2. Those are good movies, but they're bad for them. Fuck, they made Guardians of the motherfucking Galaxy the #1 grossing movie of the year. These people can rape your mom and you thank them. Like, these are amazing fucking movie people. Which is why it's my #1. I just stole that straight from you.
That's perfectly fine. Star Wars, I'm going to go back to Star Wars real quick.
Go back, yeah.
I grew up with Star Wars. Obviously, a lot of us did. I grew up being disappointed by the prequels. Although I will tell you that there are pictures of an 8-year-old me wearing a Ewan McGregor Obi-Wan Kenobi T-shirt and fucking geeking out.
I'm gonna tell you, I refused to consider the prequels bad until I was like 15.
Oh really?
Yeah, because I was like, Attack of the Clones is a good action movie. I don't care.
I saw Attack of the Clones and realized I didn't really care for Star Wars that much anymore.
No, I watched it like 100 times. I went and bought Count Dooku's lightsaber.
Really?
Yeah, dude, I was sorry. I drank the Kool-Aid so much.
Dildo lightsaber.
Yeah, I drank the Kool-Aid so much. It wasn't until I saw the third one until it was like the Emperor's throwing the fucking like the diplomatic chairs at Yoda, and I'm just like, this is garbage. It wasn't until the third one until I'm like, did I misjudge these prequels? Yeah. I think they're low rate.
But yeah, so Star Wars didn't make #1 just because Star Wars, as much as it has been a big part of my childhood, it hasn't been as big a part of my adulthood because of the prequels.
True.
I was kind of disenchanted with Star Wars because of the prequels. And I know you like some of the Clone Wars stuff.
I love the TV show Clone Wars.
Yeah.
On Netflix.
Can't do it.
The 3D one, not the 2D one. Nothing against the 2D one, I just haven't watched it. The 3D Clone Wars is goddamn good. And it's canon, which is why you need to watch it. Yeah. You know why? Because Darth Maul's still alive, motherfuckers. Spoiler.
Just spoiled it for me.
Also, another thing, I'm going to bring this up really quick. People who are bitching about the black stormtroopers saying stormtroopers are clones, you're goddamn wrong. They're not. And I know you once said that to me. I'm sorry to call you out.
Tell me.
But you're wrong. They bring it up in Rebels, and if you're not watching Rebels, you're doing it wrong. You're doing life wrong. Watch Rebels. Rebels is good. And they bring up in multiple things during Clone Wars or at the end of Clone Wars and during Rebels of how the Empire expanded and expanded and expanded, and the second batch of clones were fucked up and faulty. And they started doing stuff. Something I just saw in Clone Wars, like the Initiative 88 or Execute whatever 88 when or 66 when they kill the Jedis. Mm. They got ones that are going off early because they're so faulty, and they're like, "Fuck, kill Jedis," and all the other clones are like, "What are you talking about? We don't know about that yet."
Right.
And yeah, and these Clone Wars, I'm not gonna... I shouldn't have gone on a Clone Wars rant, but Clone Wars is fucking amazing. It's such a good show. And I didn't want to watch it until this year. And I finally got
Steve-O may have to cut some of this out, because we're at 40 minutes.
Yeah, Steve-O can cut all he wants.
Yeah, and then Avengers made the #1 spot because Avengers has been a big part of my adult life. Before the live-action movie, a little bit about me. I don't buy comic books because I'm lame.
I do.
I'm really, really frugal. I can't justify in my heart buying comic books ever because it's just too expensive. I can't justify that.
I think of it as a drug. Instead of buying weed, I buy $40 of comics each week.
I buy a $4 pack of cigarettes every other day.
Oh, there you go.
And I buy a 12-pack of beer once a week.
Okay.
So I could be spending that on comics, but I don't.
Avengers are a big part of your life.
Yeah, I mean, I was a big fan of the cartoons of the Avengers before the movies came out, like the cartoon movies, like the feature films.
Yeah.
The cartoons. Which, if you've seen those, They're essentially what the live-action movies turned out to be.
Or Earth's Mightiest Heroes, which
Earth's Mightiest Heroes was
Earth's Mightiest
really
Heroes
good.
is great.
I was really surprised. Watch Earth's Mightiest Heroes.
Yeah, it's on Netflix too. Watch Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes. If you watch that, you'll have a jump up on all the movies.
Yeah.
You would have known who Ronan was before he was the blue guy.
I basically already know what happens in Age of Ultron because of the movies. And because of the cartoons.
Yeah.
I already knew what happened with the Chitauri before because of the movie. But anyway, let's wrap this thing up because we're at 40 minutes.
Put a big bow on it. I'm sorry for all those Star Wars fans. It's still my number 2, and guess what? It might be my number 2, but is miles behind 3 through 10. 3 through 10 are in the dust compared to Star Wars. Star Wars destroys them. Avengers has a hair in front of Star Wars. Don't get mad. Don't be hate. Well, hate all you want. I don't give a fuck. But I'm just saying, Star Wars is one of my most anticipated movies. I have a goddamn countdown on my phone of every day, and I've been putting it on Facebook like 500 days, 430 days. Yeah. You got any more?
I just really wish I could have put Resident Evil on my list, the more I think about it.
The fact it was an honorable mention is the reason why I'll never talk to you again. Bye!